Sure.
So maybe if,
That's a good point.
like, I would also like to get,
I would-
give you suggestions.
Yes.
Maybe like one, like one full day, and then you take one of those half days, make it
A full day PD instead of a half day, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a very valid point and something that we're looking into. So I love the idea of possibly doing a switch because we have 2 now during the year. What if we changed it to 4 full days instead of all of these half days? It probably would help families too, not to have to every month figure out what they're doing in terms of childcare.
Right.
Thank you for saying that.
And Temu, I just
Yeah.
wanted
Oh,
to
I thought
add,
it was,
sorry, I just wanted to add that, to Mrs. Quick's, point about the calendar, by not adding on days for
Oh, right.
snow days,
Yes.
what happens is we add them on at the end, and they're not the best days for our
Mhm,
children
mhm.
because everybody's winding down, educators start to believe that kids are burnt out and done. I think sometimes teachers seem to be done because they think they should have been done. And so it almost seems better to allocate some snow days
Yeah.
into the schedule and just know that we're going to end
That's, yeah,
later,
yeah.
you know.
I think it's a very valid point, and we have done now 2-year calendars, so we have a little bit of time to really come up with a plan that we would present to the board, because we present the calendar to the board, and the board decides what we want. So if there is a team of us who wants to get together now and start looking at what it would look like moving forward, we can always change the half day. We have some flexibility there. We're really pretty set in the 2021 calendar. Yeah, we're up to 2021 right now, but that means we have time to come up with a plan for what this would look like. And Dr. Fernandez will be in charge of the calendar. He was in charge of it than I was. I'm giving it back to him. So, yes.
With regard to professional development, when we have the half days and kids are out and the teachers go back in and they have the program, that's here. Aren't there any programs that could be done at home, webinars, online stuff?
So I'm not a fan of webinars. I think that having the back and forth with staff is, I think, the best way that people learn, and being able to, a lot of times go into each other's classroom, have your materials here that you're going through related to the curriculum, and really diving into the lessons and looking at kids' data is really important for you to do. So I'm not a fan
But
of
it can be
webinar.
done, 'cause I have to take it myself.
Okay, I'm just saying what I prefer to do.
No, I understand that.
If yours works, that's great, but this is what I prefer to do, is for teachers to be together in one place, having conversations about their work.
We do use the webinars for our mandated training, so we do
Correct.
have for things like FERPA, some of the laws, bloodborne pathogens, the different required annual trainings that the state says you have to do. We do use that method.
Okay,
And
so I wasn't sure if it was exclusively, just gotta be here, gotta.
No.
No, we do have some
And
of
we
that.
send those out in the summer so that if teachers want to get them done before the school year gets started, they're absolutely able to do that. Yes.
So I think we, as a district, we definitely can do it because other schools can do it too. Like I want to talk about Charter School. They have a very long day and they only close for twice a year. I understand it's a small community. We are a bigger community, but we can work it out, and have that as an example. Because if somebody else can do it, I believe that we also can do it.
Mhm.
And it's possible, and I believe that the idea that this gentleman had at the webinar, that you already have it as a complement of whatever we have here. We are in the century of technology. A lot of people don't like it. Me is the one that don't like technology much, but we have to use it because we live in this
Sure.
time right now, so we need it. So I think it's possible to charge the days off, especially the half day is painful, especially for the parents that have to work
Yeah.
and babysit. Like Vanessa said, that most of the kids don't come to school.
Right.
And that's a shame.
Mhm.
as an educator, I will be really ashamed that my kids are not coming because it's a half a day.
Right.
For most parents, it's great, that the kids are coming early to home.
Right.
But for most, are not.
Okay. Yes.
One of the other questions that came up, that was submitted, transportation seems to be a challenge. Bus transportation, I believe the options are limited for us as a district in terms of vendors and such. But it seems like every year there's a lot of reinventing the wheel around bus stops that existed one year that don't the next, kids in the same family, not all getting bus letters. A lot of things that seem like they could be better managed. Is there any plan to sort of reassess? And I know it's a vendor that does it, but is there any opportunity
It is.
to?
So we have we will need to go out to RFP by February this year. And so I appreciate the feedback we got from your questions, because we're going to elicit feedback from people, because we did only have one person bid for our job this year, and without any sort of competition, it is very difficult. We found out a lot this year when I took over as superintendent. Some of the technology that we weren't using as a district that we are going to roll out moving forward. One is that next year you will get, if all goes well, you will not get your bus letters in a letter. You will have them sent to you, and you will be able to click on a link. And if you don't get the letter, you'll still be able to click on a link, and you will be able to put in a password, and you will be able to get your child's bus stop. So it should have been done years ago. It was not. The other thing that I'm really excited about is that there's an app as part of our program that we use, Versatran, that you will be able to track your bus, and so you will be able to tap in. I want an alert when my bus is within a 2-mile radius of my bus stop, and it will send you a text that says, okay, come out of the house right now because we're within a 2-mile radius. So there's a lot of things that will be put in place going forward that are a part of Versatran. So regardless of what vendor gets our transportation contract, we will still be able to use that service. So I think those are excited, but I'm really excited to be able to go out and see if we'll be able to have other people bid for our job. Not that I think first student is horrible, but I really feel like we need to give them some really specific feedback. They have had a huge turnover in the last year. I met with them about 4 months ago just to say, as we get into fall and we get into the school year, I would like to have more conversations about the concerns that I had even with us getting things ready for this year. Yes.
So just to let everybody know, we have about